Hello everybody, welcome back to Mud Files, Ep.6, and in proper fashion of the series, the Mud Files, you know, the message that I was trying to get behind with this series, showing the trench work, the good, the bad, the ugly, the unpolished aspects of training. We had a rough week 4, man. Rough is an understatement, bro. You know, my deadlift went okay, went great. I mean, 615 for 3, with really just like no exposure to the top end. Let me fix this while I'm at a stop. You know, with no exposure to the top end is good. But squat went terrible. I mean, just terrible. I was supposed to go for a 612 squat, RP9, but, 612 should have been there, and I failed my last warm-up. I failed what I took for my week 3, which was 262.5 or 578. I did not expect to fail it. I didn't just load it without thinking, you know, like I would not load a weight, especially if it's a last warm-up. Like, I didn't think I felt that bad, but your boy was not feeling good. I went to squat that 578. I don't have a video of it, unfortunately, because it was a last warm-up. And I don't typically film last warm-ups. And I fucking failed it, man. Like, that was unbelievable that I failed that. But there's a lot to say. I mean, one, I'm happy that I was super composed about it. Like, I felt freakishly weak. Like, there's some days that you come in the gym and you're like, oh, I'm on. Like, I feel freakishly strong. But this was a day that I felt freakishly weak, and I just kind of tried to keep riding what I felt I was confident in. And I'm like, you know what? Even if I feel super weak, if I load 262.5, it should be fine. My warm-up before that was 247.5, and it like moved rough, but not in my head hard enough that I was gonna fail 15 keys more. So that was crazy. I mean, just super bad. And I talked to Evan about it, and he's gonna rewrite everything. And kind of like the main thing that we're realizing is just, or that I feel like I'm realizing, is that like I need to push heavier on my back downs, and like everything in like the 500 to 550 range felt good every week. And once I got past 550, like, it just felt so foreign on my back, and my strength just declined as the weeks went on. So I felt super flat. I felt like I had no pop out of the hole. Everything felt super sluggish. And as an athlete, I could think personally, for me, variables wise, like, my sleep wasn't perfect this week. I had trouble sleeping due to being a little bit sick. But, like, I don't think that it was enough to cause that poor of a performance, because I kind of know myself, and I know that, like, I could still manage weight. If the programming is structured correctly, I could still manage it if I'm, like, you know, if I'm not fully recovered or like sleeping great. It'll just feel harder. But this was just like a complete like wash. Like, it was pretty incredible. And it was pretty incredible because the days leading up to it that I squatted felt super strong. I mean, on my secondary and tertiary squat day, I was loading weights that felt very powerful. Like, it was exactly how it should feel, like heavy as hell on my back, but like really powerful. And then today, or like on my primary squat, it just felt heavy and hard. So, you know, shit happens, and you just have to have like a short-term memory, man. Like, that's it. Get out the gym and it's like it never happened. I mean, I got today's session to look forward to for bench. I have the range from 170 to 180, and we're just gonna see what happens, right? I mean, like, I'm definitely preparing myself mentally to load 180, and that's the goal. There's always that upper end, but again, stuff has been weird this ending of this block for sure, and I'm not gonna beat myself up. So this is the reality of training, man. I mean, failing 262.5, like for me, that is 12 and a half. I don't know if I'm doing the math right. That is, yeah, 12 and a half kilos under my all-time PR. Failed. So like, I feel like on a normal occasion that would like cause a crash out, a tweak. I don't really feel like I felt like that. I felt like pretty composed after it, because I just knew that, you know, I just wasn't strong on the day, and it wasn't a day that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready to PR, like I feel super strong. I was ready to load 612, but my body was not ready for it. So unfortunately, that was a poor end to the block on squat. But we just got to keep it moving, man. I mean, this is a journey. Lifting weights is literally not linear. Your body changes, and that's kind of what we're realizing with my squat, is that my fatigue patterns, the way my body is handling squats may have changed since I've gone up a weight class. When I was 181, I squatted 3 times a week, but my body could not load, like I really could not load over 500 on any day except for the primary. And it was like sandbagged volume, like very, very sandbagged. So we're gonna see. I mean, maybe the high bar didn't really work out the way it should have. Like, I have 2 days of high bar, and maybe like that just really didn't play out well to give me like top end strength on low bar. Who knows, bro? But this is the thing. I can start thinking about all these things, but in reality, like, I have a coach, and my coach is the one who's responsible for that burden of like figuring out what's wrong. I could tell him how I feel, I could give him ideas, but I shouldn't be stressing myself on the actual changes that need to occur. Because I have a coach. I have a great coach, and I trust his decision making, and I have to have faith in that. Like, if anything, it makes it easier for me because I have a shit session, and then it's like, well, you know, I don't have to worry about what's going to change. It's his worry. But we also do talk a lot about how I feel, of course, because he needs that information. But ultimately, it's his decision and his job, and I trust him. So I'm thankful for that, because it allows me to just do what I need to do as a lifter and just come into the gym and lift, you know? Sometimes, like, overthinking it. Is it the exposure? Is it the frequency? Is it this? As a lifter, it may not be worth it when you have a good coach, you know? And like I said, like, him and I collaborate for sure, but I don't tell him how to do his job. So if he feels like it's something, then it is that. And we try it, and if it doesn't work, then we try something else. But as time has shown, I've made good progress with Evan, and I'm very happy to call him my coach. So yeah, that's all it is, man. We shake it off. We don't, like, I don't want to fail 262.5, like, but you know, I'm not gonna, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm not gonna beat myself up. There's another block, there's another day to train. I'm not injured. There's a lot lot of stuff to be happy about. I'm definitely happy about my composure as a lifter afterwards, because failing lifts used to really fuck me up, like emotionally. I used to really beat myself up, and I thought that was like the mature thing to do, because I cared so much, and the caring about the lift hasn't changed. If anything, it's gotten more. But I think the maturity as a lifter of understanding, like, okay, it's just, there's no point in beating myself up, you know? There's more to life than just this squat. There's more to training than just this squat. You know, the only way you're gonna literally progress from that is just to continue lifting. Like the after, like, tweaking out about it and being emotional about it in the moment doesn't change what happens afterwards, which is just continuing to lift on program and all of that. So yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I had a video of the fail. This would have been good for YouTube, and the only video I have is like me attempting a back down with 235, which I'll show on video here, that I was gonna try to do for 6, and I definitely was capable of doing that for 6 on the week 3. And I called it after like 2 or 3 reps, because I'm like, no, it's not happening. Like, I could just feel it in my body. It just felt very hard. So yeah, we're pulling up to the gym now. Let's see how squat or bench goes. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully, you know, come out of the gym today with some good stuff. We'll make it happen.
Go grab it. Give me a ticket.
After this session, unbelievable. I keep saying that with bench. You know, same thing last block. I said it was like unbelievable. I need to start not saying that, because this is actually starting to become a very predictable occurrence that my week 4s show up ready to PR. So it's just, when I say it's unbelievable, it's because holy shit, like the 365 I hit last week, which I'll show here, just like was so hard. It felt so bad. It felt so hard. And that's kind of how the weeks go leading up to the week 4. And then week 4, it's just like, it's there. Like, it's there to load the weight. Now, today didn't feel like I caught lightning in a bottle kind of easy. When, like it did last block when I hit 385 and I had room in the tank, and it just felt completely confident to load it. Today was a little bit harder. I definitely had to push through it. But my warm-ups were 1, 2, 3 plates, 345, 365, then 385. And looking back on that now, that's pretty big. Jumping from 365 to 385 was definitely, as something I've never done before. And I think that was like a little bit too much. I definitely felt it when I unracked it. It almost like hitched me forward a little bit out of position, because I was not expecting it, and that 385 moved pretty poorly. Like, I was like, shit, like I don't even know if I can get that for another single. But my load is a 2x1. Thank goodness Evan gives me a 2x1, because it kind of gives me the opportunity to just execute that weight again. or go up if it moves good. So, I had a 20-pound range from 375 to 395 today. I took that 385 and I was like, you know what, man? Like, I'm here. I had a spotter. I had my friend Justin there. I'm like, I can just put the silvers on, man. And like 385 already today, hitting that when I don't feel like super strong, and jumping straight from 365 to that and hitting it when I don't feel super strong is a win. I'll take that. I've only loaded 385 one time ever before. So I was happy with hitting 385 already, although I didn't really love the way I executed it. So I was like, you know what? I got nothing to lose. Let me load 390. And the 390 moved, man. I mean, it moved. It felt better than the 385. Like, when I unracked it, it really popped off the rack. And I think that that's just a product of the jump. The jump was so small, and I think like that made it feel a lot easier. I basically tell myself if I'm loading only 2.5 more, I'm like basically like hitting the same weight again. Such a small percentage of the weight. And yeah, like I hit it. I hit 390 on bench. I mean, bench, as Evan texted me today, is on a warpath. That's a great way of describing it. It is unstoppable for the past like 5 months or more than that, like 6-7 months. It has been unstoppable. Like, just chipping away every block. I'm PRing. Like, what? I haven't been able to say that ever in my lifting career, let alone like when I first started. Even my bench could not progress this fast. Now, yeah, like when I first started, I was a lot lighter. I was like 135 when I first started lifting, but everyone says like newbie gains, you progress super fast, hitting PRs every week. Bench was never like that for me, man. This is truly like, I've never had this sort of progress where every single block I'm PRing on bench ever, I don't think. So, for this to be happening so much later in my powerlifting career, which it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's still early on. I've been powerlifting this is coming up on year 5. I'm just so thankful. But it's a true testament, and it really brings me confidence in knowing that I made the right move to go up a weight class, because bench was the lift I struggled with the most when I was a 181. It just was so difficult to push the needle on bench. It was really, really hard. I had to fight tooth and nail, and I could never hit PRs every block, so a year ago at this point, my max was 340. Unless we don't even have to go that far to a year. In September of 2025, my max was like 350, 355. So, from September to now, we're at 50 pounds more, or 40 pounds more. Like, crazy, bro. Just awesome. Just makes me feel happy that I did this going up the weight class. And I've been PRing every block, and right now my body weight hasn't been going up. Like, I'm sitting right at 205 to 206 every morning. And so, like, I'm progressing every block while I'm not even going up in body weight now anymore. Like, now I'm really just maintaining at a weight, and it's just like that is starting to still catch up to me, So I'm super happy. I did attempt 355 for a triple on the back down and failed it. I was pretty fried. Today was, I'm really happy I hit 390. Like, again, the standards aren't like to comp standard, but I'm not mad about that at all. This is I'm in an off season. I'm pushing as hard as I can. I'm okay with hitting a little bit of a short pause on bench for the sake of just continuing to progress the load and push. So you know, we are so close to 400. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday when I first hit like 355 to 365, and I was like, yeah, like, you know, I'm closer to 400 than I am 300 now, but now I'm very close. Like now it's like it could happen next block, you know? Like if I really play my cards right, it could happen next block. And to be completely transparent with you guys, like this week I was not locked in on my nutrition and on my sleep. Like I was struggling to get good sleep because I was coming off of a cold, and I was really coughing at night a lot, and that limited my recovery a bit. Just not really good sleep, and then my eating was like, I don't feel good. Like I don't feel happy with my eating this week, which, like, you know, this is my YouTube to be transparent with you guys. You know, like I'm not like this super all the time locked in person. That's not how life is, although we may want it to seem like that. If you have an involved life outside of just this, stuff can happen, and you can do your best to make it consistent and the variables the same. And I did do that. Like that's something I feel like I'm good at, is trying to do my best. But with me being sick, I was lazy. I wasn't cooking as much. I'm not eating less, but just eating more food out. And I'm not eating like McDonald's and shit like that, but still, to me, like eating food out, the quality is usually a little more poor because I'm not paying for gourmet food when I'm eating out during the week. And you know, I ate a lot. I definitely did. But I think that when I don't track my food and I don't know like exactly what I'm eating, it starts to slip up. So it's like, who knows? Like I do think I was hitting my protein, but I do not think I was eating enough carbs, and I think I was eating a lot more fats than I was carbs. So that's something that when you're like trying to push to PRs and really pushing on a week 4, it's like it could have an effect, it could not, especially because I'm in such a surplus, or not even a surplus, but I'm in such like a heavier weight, and I'm not even close to a deficit. I'm more on like the surplus side. Like I don't think it has that much of an effect as if I was like on a deficit and then I start eating really poorly. Then like you really feel the changes in the diet when you're in a deficit. So I don't think it had that much of an effect, but you know, it's factors for me to consider to be better. And unfortunately, like I know I wasn't as good as I could have been on my diet this week, and yeah, I need to, there's always room to improve, you know, like I'm human. I'm not gonna be perfect. When I came into today's session, I was like, you know, I was like, there's a certain level of like confidence that one can have, but then also like in the back of your head, you also know it's like, okay, like there are some factors that could play into effect. If I feel very poorly, it's not for no reason. It's not to point a finger at programming. It's because of, if there's something to your own, you always want to look at yourself first before trying to blame programming. So, you know, I went into today with a completely open mind. I'm like, all right, let me make these jumps. That 365 was so much better than last week that I kind of knew from that point on. I'm like, you know, I can hit 380. You know, it might be a scrap, but I think I could do it. And yeah, I'm very happy, very, very happy with 390. You know, this has just been unbelievable, my bench progress. I'm gonna bench 400 a lot sooner than I think, which is just, that's like a life, you know, I don't have much lifetime goals that I think of like, oh, I want to do this. Like I really want to load 350 on deadlift one day. Like that's just a number that I think looks so sick loaded up. But man, like what? Like 390? That's so awesome. Like we're really getting close to 400. I don't have many, that's what I was trying to get to. I don't have many lifetime goals, but like 405, like a 400-pound bench at 93. You know, I know there's the top guys are hitting close to 5, but as for someone who was struggling to just get to 300 at 181, to go up a weight class and not even with a year under me as a 93 be already this close to 400, it was a move. Like it confirmed that this was the right decision for me to move up as a 93 kilo lifter, because this was the lift that was holding me back the most as a 181, and I did all I could to push the needle, but it was very difficult. So the rapid growth in it happening right now is just to me, it's a great sign. And it's you know, I'm like thinking about like 3 years from now, like I'm gonna be loading like 200 kilos, you know, like fuck man, that's so sick. Like I know it's gonna happen, you know, I know I'm gonna hit 400 soon. I know I'm gonna hit 200 kilos as a 93, you know, like it's just a matter of playing time and not getting injured and just keeping this progression going. And yeah, so I'm very happy with the end of this block. You know, this is why you gotta have that short-term memory, is why I try to convince myself. It's like squat that happened yesterday, it's out, it's done, there's nothing to do about it, but come into the next session, you know, I have bench up, that's it. Like after I failed that squat and it went so terribly, it's like, get me out of the gym, you know, finish up this workout, because tomorrow I am going to bench a PR. And you know, we did that. You know, I did it. I actually did hit 390, and I can leave this block happy and knowing that, you know, just gonna keep it going. And we're gonna fix squat. We're gonna figure out what was wrong. You know, it might take a block, it might take 2 blocks, it might take 3 blocks, but I'll never forget how easy that 606 squat felt when I hit it in competition a while ago in November, and how ready I was that day to load like 280. Like that feeling won't go away, you know, although I have not felt that strong in a while. Like you have to I like to remember how things felt and be like, you know what, like that's there, it's somewhere there, we just got to dig it out, you know, it's in there, it's deep in there. And I'm not like getting weaker, I'm pushing hard, my legs have gotten bigger, like visibly bigger. So it's just a matter of unlocking that, you know. We're gonna take time, and I'm not close to competition, there's no pressure, and we're gonna unlock that strength sooner or later, you know. Like I'm confident in that, and you know, when I finally am like really get that flow going again on squat, I'm gonna squat 300 kilos as a 93. Like I'm so excited to do that. You know, but yeah, that's really it. Thank you guys for watching. If you've watched this far, this is turning out to probably be a pretty freaking long video, since I've been talking here for 16 minutes and I talked before. But yeah, thank you guys very much for tuning in to Mud Files. You know, we're gonna keep going, man. I'm excited to continue documenting all this. Like I'm trying to just be fully transparent with my training on here and document as much as I can. And a lot of this has become like car talks, which I like, but I also would like to do a little bit more in the gym filming. But it's just it's a little difficult when you're like I don't want to be talking to a camera sometimes when I'm in there. And some days it's appropriate, but other days I'm like today, it's like that would have totally messed up my flow, you know, trying to focus on lifting. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.